Well, welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Kent Adams here. I hope you're having a good day. Today's the 6th of October. And I say that only because, what? We're in October? I mean, it's been a crazy few months, and a crazy few months for all of us, including our arts and culture in Spokane. And we're going to talk with someone from the MAC today about how this has affected them. More importantly than how it's affected them, perhaps how it's affected us as being able to go in and see some outstanding exhibits. And we'll talk about those right after we catch up on today's weather.
Today, Spokane's weather is going to be mostly sunny with a high 77, while this week looks to bring mostly sunny weather. Tonight will be mostly clear with a low of 47. Today, Coeur d'Alene's weather is going to be mostly sunny with a high of 74 and a low of 50. Cheney's weather is going to be mostly sunny with a high of 75 and a low of 45.
This is Loomsday in Spokane. We got about 40 firefighters and their friends and family handing out 40,000 cups of water as the day goes by.
It's a very good opportunity to see the public and support them and help them out and cheer them on during Bloomsday.
It's one of the best things about Spokane is that we have these major events and the whole community comes together not just to participate but to volunteer and show that they really care about our city and making our city look great.
This type of an event really is emblematic of Spokane because so many people get involved. We have 50,000 people probably running this race. Always has been a very huge event.
Right now we're at the corner of Broadway and Nettleton. It's the last water station before the finish, so people are pretty much dehydrated by the time they get to us. They really need our water.
The water stations are a vital part, especially on warm days like today. It's real important that we have the volunteers to help with that. Without the volunteers, Bloomsday wouldn't exist.
All up and down the course, there are people that are involved in this celebration. It really is a celebration of what Spokane's all about.
Welcome to Apex Plaza, Spokane's one-stop cannabis destination. Apex Cannabis features thousands of economy, value, and luxury cannabis products. Cannagear features hemp-based CBD products, glass, goods, and gear. Stop by 1325 North Division to experience the Apex difference.
This product has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming. Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug. There may be health risks associated with the consumption of this product. For use only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children.
The economy is getting stronger, banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Well, as my friends say to me often, it can't get any crazier. Oh, wait, it will. And it affects a lot of things, not only businesses, I think of the restaurants and the others, but part of our culture here in Spokane is some great artists and art and a museum or two, okay, including the MAC. Jess, how are you today?
Wes, actually.
Wes, did I? Okay,
right.
And it's
Wes Jessup.
Jessup, okay.
Yeah, it happens,
right.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fire me, okay. I haven't seen you for a while. You haven't been in this new location.
I haven't been at
so
the new
I know
location.
It's been over a year.
It's been a while. Thanks for having me on, by the way. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You, meaning the museum, have had to deal with what the rest of us have.
Yes.
The last, 6-7 months now. I don't even want to know how many months, so don't correct me. It just hurts me.
Yeah.
And it hurts me because of the effect on the MAC, on businesses in town. Mm-hmm. You and I have both seen some companies and restaurants that are gone out of business and aren't coming back, maybe some of our favorites even, or at least our friends' favorites and so forth. How have you adapted up until now You've had the Pompeii exhibit, which you had going for a while there, right?
Right.
And then comes the closing of everything.
Right.
What happened?
We had the busiest February in the history of the MAC. We opened Pompeii, and it was, people were coming, and it was, this amazing show with artifacts and art. It was extraordinary, and it was, we had a lot of people coming through the museum, and then March, boom, it's all gone.
Flat,
we had to, we had to shut down. So, and then we weren't able to reopen until the end of August.
Okay.
So, we. It's really tough to keep a business going when you can't generate any revenue. And we just couldn't open the doors. We had no way to do that. So the community stepped up. We did a fundraising drive that was very successful. And our staff hung in there. I have an amazing staff. We had to do a few layoffs, but we sort of made it through to the end. So
it could have been a complete closure.
It could have been it could have been bad. And a lot of, and there, not a lot, but there have been museums that have closed.
Yes.
So cultural organizations are really, especially performing arts organizations, are really struggling when you can't have a live performance, So we're a little bit more fortunate in that the governor allowed us to open at 25% capacity. Okay. So we can still have people in. They have to, pre-order their ticket online, time ticket, mask up, social distance. But
when they go, they know they can go.
Oh, they know they can go,
because of the time and everything else. So in some ways, while it's not great for you, it's great for the viewer and for the participant there.
That's right. And we had a lot. We reopened with 3 weeks left of Pompeii, and we pretty much sold out all of our time ticket slots. So there was a demand, there was an appetite in the community to get back in, and that was great.
Yeah, and darn Kent missed it, because I think back in January or February I'm looking at, this is something I want to do because I love history. And how many specials I've seen on TV for Pompeii and all of that, right?
Yeah.
So my appetite was wet, and then things stopped.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So you've just opened 3 of your 4 new exhibits.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's first talk about the 3.
Well, we opened our large show, our big kind of blockbuster this fall is called Pop Power Warhol to Coons. And it's an exhibition of pop art. You know about Andy Warhol and
course.
Lichtenstein and Keith Haring, some of the great. So it's 5 decades of these artists and kind of how they've interpreted pop art over the years. And let me tell you, it's a fun show. It's a great show.
Is it as crazy as I think it might be?
It is crazier than you think. It's fun. It's I've noticed a lot of families coming in over the weekend, a lot of kids. It's very accessible art, very colorful, dynamic pieces. And, I think people really are, they like being able to come in and see things, that come from advertisements or celebrity culture, pop culture.
Yes.
And and these artists just kind of take that imagery and they play with it and they do different things. It's a great show.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really wonderful. And it comes to us from a collector in Portland who generously loaned it to us, Jordan Schnitzer. And then we also opened an exhibition commemorating the 75th anniversary of the Spokane Symphony.
Okay, yes.
Because they're having their 75th birthday this fall.
Yeah.
Sadly, the season got canceled.
So much for that, right?
Well,
there's a way to celebrate.
That's right. So we planned this long before COVID. And it, we actually kind of highlight the musicians in the orchestra, and we do some different things in that show. It's a history show, but it also talks about the symphony, and it's just a really great, it's a fun show. And again, for kids, it's really accessible.
Is it multimedia? How do you do
there's
all that?
There's some multimedia. There's photography. There's there's things. There's some instruments in there.
Oh, fun.
There's some old props from some of the concerts, and then. We plan on a couple times a month having musicians come in on Saturday.
Oh, fine.
Okay, so we'll still be able to have some music and some performance. It won't be like sit-down performance, but you can walk through the gallery. And
so if you're going to get tickets, Saturday might be the day to first ask for.
Go online and see what see when the musicians are there.
Okay.
See when the musicians are there. But so we're excited about that show. And then the third show is called Bomber Boys, and it's about a bomber squad in World War II.
Okay.
This is also the 75th anniversary of World War II
yes.
ending. Okay,
yes.
1945. So we are hosting a show. It comes to us from the west side of the state about a bomber's squadron and kind of their in 1996, one of the pilots who was, pretty old at that time, his daughter discovered a cache of photos hidden away in a barn. And he had not ever brought those out since the 40s. And I mean, she got in there and she realized that there were treasures.
Yes.
And there was a lot of information he hadn't shared. And so she turned these photographs into an exhibition.
Yeah.
And it's really extraordinary. You really get to understand what it was like to be in a bomb squadron, and the kinds of missions they flew in Europe, and a
good chance you weren't going to come back.
A lot of some of them didn't come back. The main pilot actually flew over 50 missions, which is extraordinary.
Right.
And another really fun fact is that the book Catch-22, right, by Joseph Heller, based on that squadron.
Oh, wow.
On that particular squadron.
Who would have thought that?
Who would have thought that? But they've figured that out, and so if you're a fan of Catch-22, you will you'll appreciate the show even more.
Right.
So and then next weekend on Saturday, this coming Saturday, we will open another World War II show from our own collection.
Oh,
so the museum has a very large historic collection from the region. That's one of the parts of our mission is to collect the history.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's I think important is we are losing so many World War II veterans right now.
That's right.
That this is a way to honor them, probably for the last time while some of them are still alive.
That's right. And we have a few left in our community.
Yes.
And we are honoring them. And it's
have you reached out to invite them in?
Yeah, some of them, yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
and I think we're working with VFW. There's different organizations that we're working with. But the point is that we have a large collection, and so we're pulling out things like like army uniforms and guns, everything that we have, and it really tells the story of how the Inland Northwest in Spokane, what role did they play in World War II?
Right.
What did that look like? What was it like to be here during that time?
Right.
So we're kind of telling that story, and I think people will really enjoy that. There's a lot of people that are World War II history buffs.
Yes.
I mean, it's because it was such a cataclysmic thing. I mean, it touched every part of the world. So
yes.
So I think that there's a lot of interest in that show, and also in Bomber Boys. They're companion shows, even though they're different.
If you get a ticket, does that include all of that?
All 4 shows.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Pop Power, Spokane Symphony, Bomber Boys, and World War II.
So this must cost an awful lot.
It does, yes. And thanks for bringing that up.
No.
We have generous sponsors in the community that have really helped us with these exhibitions, and people that have stepped forward, and especially right now, this is a tough financial year for
everybody.
Our museum and everybody.
Yes.
So to have donors and to have corporations step up and give like they've been giving to the MAC,
right?
It's extraordinary. Yeah. Yeah,
you want to throw out a name or two?
Oh, absolutely. So Pop Power is supported by Inland Imaging.
Okay.
You probably know that organization.
Yes,
You've heard of that. And a couple of private donors, Karen and Earl Furbear, Cheryl Westerman, and the Broadway Group supported that show. Joan Degerstrom supported, who's a longtime supporter of the museum.
I recognize the name. Yes.
Joan supported our symphony show. And then we have some other supporters for the World War II and Bomber Boys. So it's been really great.
That really makes a difference, because otherwise you would have to charge, and I don't mean this, an arm and a leg, because it's costly to bring these in. But what an opportunity, and especially if your visitors and patrons that come in are reduced by 75%.
Right.
That revenue is going to be way down. So you depend on others stepping up in this community.
We people have stepped up.
We have a community that does that.
Oh yeah, Spokane's great. There's a lot of generosity and a lot of community members who really care about the MAC and other organizations.
Yeah. I'm hearing that from a lot. I mean, you get the Avistas and the others in town who have said they'll continue to write the check this year for organizations that know they're facing uncertain challenges, especially several months ago, and to know that, yes, we may not have the big dinner for $400 or whatever, but we're still going to put the $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 in.
That's right.
And because it's important to have the MAC and to have some of the other entertainment and history in our community.
Right.
I love it.
That's
we're a city, we're a community, we're a metropolitan area, but we're still a town.
Right.
Do you feel
still
that?
a small town? Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely feel it, and and just, being in the gallery since we've reopened and seeing familiar faces, seeing
Yes.
our members, our donors, and just community members coming in. They haven't been able to get out for 6 months.
No kidding.
We're one of the places you can go, and we're open all year round.
Okay.
Okay. So there's not a lot of places like that.
What
right now.
what are the days that you're open?
We're open on Tuesday through Sunday.
Okay, Tuesday through Sunday.
10 to 5.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I was saying before we started that, a lot of my kids and friends are teaching their kids at home in addition to what comes from school and the online learning.
Right.
And
right.
millions of us have learned Zoom. I had heard about it back in January. I learned it in March.
You learned it.
Didn't we? But if you want to get some culture, get some history in,
right?
What a great opportunity.
Right.
So what does it cost for a couple of folks from a family?
The highest, the adult is $15, and then it goes down to $12 and $10 for seniors, and I think students are below that as well.
Okay.
So students might be $10. So, but building on what you said, because my son is a freshman at Lewis and Clark right now.
Okay.
He's in class all morning, but the afternoon he's doing homework and he's meeting with teachers. But guess what? What a great time for families and kids to come to the museum. Come in the afternoon. We're open till 5.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to get out of the house, get away from the screen, and see some of the treasures that we brought in, from all over for this fall.
I'll have to tell you, usually Fridays I take off and work from home and get errands done and all those kinds of things. I'll have to tell you, when I'm out running around, I live up in the South Hills, so it must be not too far from you. I'll see dads out walking with their kids on Fridays.
Right.
Right about 12:30, 1 o'clock, right after school's out, that kind of thing. But we could take them to the museum.
You could take them to the MAC, and
yeah.
we're already seeing in the afternoons families starting to, because if you're a parent at home with your kids and you're thinking, well, where can I go? You might go out and shoot some hoops or do some things outside. I mean, the weather's still pretty nice right now, but pretty soon it'll get colder, and we're open. These exhibitions are open through January.
Okay.
So there's some time to see them when the weather turns.
Any food or coffee service or anything like that?
Not right now, but we will hopefully reintroduce that later in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to do that with COVID.
I hear you.
So it makes it a little challenge.
Yeah, it does.
So.
Okay, so how can people get tickets?
People go online to northwestmuseum.org.
Okay.
And there you can find our online ticketing portal where you can purchase tickets, and you do have to say, I'm going to make it there at 2:30 or 3:45, and you have to select your time.
Okay.
And so that's important. That's a part of the process. And then you're good to go. Then you just show up, and you don't have to pay any money when you go through the door. So we're making it as safe as we can for people. You don't even have to touch anything. You can elbow your way through the through the special needs door, and everything. You just don't have to touch. Even our bathrooms have the pedal on the door. So you don't have to touch anything. So yeah.
Well, I hope we get back to touchy-feely days when we can hold some things right at the museum.
I mean, we do. Our store is open. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Our store is open, and we have some fun products there. For the shows and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Great take-home things to follow
Great take-home things. Yeah. Books and toys and things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wes, thank you.
Thank you.
Did I get your first name right this time?
Yes. Wes, thank you very much, and it's good to be on here. It's good to see you again. It's been a little while.
Good to see you. And again, the website is
northwestmuseum.org.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I expect you to go there, get some tickets, take the family. What a great outing, even when the weather is good this week, but starting next week, watch out. Might be a great place to go to get inside and get away from it all. Thanks for watching this edition of the Pulse of Spokane. Have a good day, everybody.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and Homes for You.